Here's what I find, though. It's something about athletes and sales.
Yeah.
That it's just like a perfect match.
100%.
It's a perfect match. And I think because athletes are confident, right? You gain certain characteristics about yourself where when you get those goals, those quotas, like you said, you did your 2 a week, that's 8 a month, you cool. Now you can, you do it easily too. And what I think the difference is between athletes and non-athletes is that we have confidence that we could just go do something.
100%.
We get the quota. We've been trained through practice and drills and winning games when we're down a certain amount, closing games out when we're up. So we're just trained to like go and accomplish.
Welcome to the Landbank Show, where we highlight some of the most creative and non-traditional ways to make money in real estate. We will showcase some of the world's greatest male and female real estate developers and teach you how you can make money by using the same strategies. Now, it's time to develop. Here's your host, Charles Noonan.
Welcome to another episode of the Landbank Show, where we highlight dope individuals that have run up a bag through non-traditional methods in real estate. We got my guy, Ede, from UK Realty.
Yes, sir.
in the house. Guys, I'm going to just be honest. I couldn't pronounce the name. No. So, Ede, formally, right? I know you're doing dope stuff in real estate. I know you're killing it on the basketball court, right?
Yes. One
of the best dressed brokers that I ever met. Right. Every time I see you, man, you killing it.
Appreciate you, man.
Introduce yourself the right way with the right pronunciations. Come on.
All right. Yeah. So my name is Ede Egharevba, but everybody just calls me Eddie for short. And I actually own my own brokerage. It's called Ukpasiarealty. We do sales and rentals in the 5 boroughs, also Long Island, with concentration in Manhattan, Queens, and Brooklyn.
Nice. You also do flips.
Yes. So personally, I do a lot of fix and flips in the Jamaica, Queens area. I got into it in 2020. Year to date, I've done about 5 personally, and I invested in about 8, all in New York City.
Okay. So you partner with some individuals that are doing development or renovations.
Yeah. So my first couple deals, being that I was very green in the real estate, market, I partnered with people who had the experience, which I felt was beneficial. They was able to guide me. We worked out terms that was a win-win for both parties.
Yeah.
And then it was cool. Then after I learned the game, and I kind of like branched off on my own.
That's smart, man.
Yeah.
That's a smart way to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Guys like me just try it on our own because we're so greedy and we want to keep all the money.
Yeah.
But there's lessons to be learned in both.
Yeah. I looked at it as like it was a win-win for both parties. They were making money, I was making money, and I also learned a lot in a short amount of time. Versus having to have the headache of dealing with bad contractors or, just local municipalities knocking on doors like, hey, what are you doing, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
So you partnered with a contractor or somebody that just had a history with good contractors? So
I partnered with an investor in Queens. I was introduced by one of my colleagues at one of the firms I was working with in Manhattan, a small boutique firm. Her boyfriend at the time was doing a lot of fix and flips in the neighborhood I was from. Mm-hmm. And I guess she seen what I was doing in the brokerage and the numbers I was doing. So she introduced us, and the rest was history. We clicked right away, and we just got into it.
Right. And then you started to do it on your own.
Yeah. So my last 2 deals was by myself. We literally just sold one. I think it sold maybe about 2 months ago. And we have a couple things in contract currently. So
nice,
just trying to keep things rolling.
Nice. You're killing it, man. You're killing it. All right. So tell me this. How did you get into real estate, and what made you decide, right? Because you went to college, you played basketball.
Yes, sir.
You went to a couple of different schools, and usually, like New York City, right, basketball players, we're going to school for basketball, right? And the perks that come with it, right? So we're going to school for basketball. Yeah. But I'm finding like people have navigated their way into real estate for a number of other things.
Yes.
So what got you into just real estate?
So being brutally honest, like what you said about the whole basketball situation, growing up in the inner city, for the most part, you think the only way out is sports or rapping or, music entertainment, your physical attributes. But growing up, I kind of always had a little edge to myself. I was into my books. A lot of people didn't know that, but I was into my books. So out of college, I got a job downtown I was a B2B sales rep, and my job description was I had to go to businesses in Midtown East.
Okay.
And try to pitch them on this new platform that Staples was rolling out, you know? And I was very good at it. So at the end of every meeting, I'll be talking to these CEOs and, you know, they'll ask me questions about myself and my history, et cetera, et cetera. And I'll start to probe on what they was into. And the common denominator, whether it was like a doctor, lawyer, insurance guy, was always real estate.
They always had a portfolio.
They always had a portfolio.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at a common theme here. All these guys have nice offices overlooking Central Park, et cetera, and the common theme is real estate. So 2 weeks later, I got into it. My job at the time was I only had to be in the office one time, and the rest was out in the field. So I would get my 2 wins early in the week, Monday.
Oh, nice.
By Monday, and then the rest of the week I was doing real estate. Now, did my manager know? No, but I already did my job. I was producing. So it wasn't a conflict of interest.
Yeah. Here's what I find though: is something about athletes and sales.
Yeah.
That it's just like a perfect match.
100%.
It's a perfect match. And I think because athletes are confident, right? You gain certain characteristics about yourself where when you get those goals, those quotas, like you said, you did your 2 a week, that's 8 a month, you cool. Now you can, you do it easily too. Mm-hmm. And what I think the difference is between athletes and non-athletes is that we have confidence that we could just go do something.
100%.
We get the quota. We've been trained through practice and drills and winning games when we're down a certain amount, closing games out when we're up. So we're just trained to like go and accomplish and get things done.
And overcome adversity for the most part too. I'm pretty sure you experience those things too when you play. It's just like you just keep going no matter what. You take a loss, you might be sad about it for that day, but tomorrow you have practice and you have to prepare for the next game, the next opponent. Yeah, and it translates to the business world all the time.
I'm starting to figure that out. So it took me a while in hiring, and then I'm like, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, there's something about an athlete and sales and accomplishing goals that's tied to immediately, directly to success.
Yes,
and I think it makes us, I'm going to say, taller people for some reason likable.
100%.
Right? People have a certain respect for athletes. Did you tell people, hey, I used to play basketball? Or did they ask you as soon as you walked in?
Because of my height. So it's like a giveaway. Oh, yeah, did you play basketball? And I always tell them, yeah, in my past life.
Yeah, right. Like, don't ask. I'm not here for basketball.
No, I mean, we'll speak on it, because like a lot of people are fans, I'm still a basketball fan, even though I don't play anymore. So we'll speak on it, but, I kind of would steer the conversation into business, because that's what I'm here for the most part.
And control it. That's what sales is all about. Yeah. But yeah, it helps though. It helps get into doors. And I didn't think about it or realize it until later on. And then I started to hire athletes because, like if they have a bad day, they're just trained to be like, all right, so the yeses are coming.
Yes.
That's just like a bad shooting quarter where you're like, all right, I gotta, you start thinking like your next shot is going in, even though you missed four. And that's why I think athletes make the best business people and the best business owners.
100%.
Because we're just not afraid to be down. We know that we've overcome and we've won so many times that it happens that way.
It's resiliency for the most part.
Yeah.
It's just to piggyback on what you said.
Yeah. All right. So now you cheating on the job. All right. Yeah. You went as an athlete. You said, let me just score this quick too. And then you started working for a small brokerage, you said?
Yeah. So at the time, one of my clients was actually a real estate office.
Okay.
And I just knew in the back of my mind, I was like, all right, cool. I'm working on my license currently, but once I'm done, I'm coming right here.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got my license, I came back, and we had a good rapport on our meeting when I switched into the platform.
Yeah.
They hired me right on the spot.
Okay.
I stayed there for about a year. Then I went to another boutique firm, and that's where I really hit the ground running.
And were you doing rentals or sales?
Yeah. So I originally started doing luxury rentals in the city. Okay. Now, when I would tell people I was doing rentals, they would just smile or laugh, because rentals, it depends on what market you're on. It's not really, how I say this? It's like the bottom for the most part. It's like sales in the real estate market is sales.
Yes.
Rentals is like, okay, what are you doing? But there's a lot of opportunity in Manhattan. Just think about the numbers in Manhattan.
That's the unique part of being in New York City.
In New York City.
Our rentals ain't small rentals.
Small rentals, no. Like, so I started out in the Manhattan market, and you know, just back when I started out, the studio was going from like anywhere from 25 to 3,000. Yeah. One bedroom was like anywhere from 35 to 4,000. You got two bedroom 55, 6,000 on the high end, maybe 72, 10,000, depending on your market, who you was working with.
What's the highest, if you don't mind me asking, what's the highest amount that you've ever rented an apartment for?
The highest apartment I ever rented for in New York City was maybe around $9,700.
$9,700 a month?
$9,700 a month.
Interesting.
It was a building on 39th and 3rd. Sheesh. It's called, what's the name of this building? It was brand new. It was just built in
You don't got to give out the source because...
I forget the name, but it's a very high-end House 39. There we go. And they gave you a robe. They gave me a robe when I closed the deal.
Oh, yeah? The building itself gave you a robe?
They gave me a robe. I came into the office with the House 39 robe. It was like, and I was new. I was literally like maybe 2 months on the job. A month on the job. Yeah, I was new. So
your intro to real estate was crazy.
It was pretty nice. And
so let me ask you this. Depending on what time people got into real estate, the compensation structure changed.
Yes.
It used to be people had to pay broker fees.
Correct. They still do.
People still do pay broker fees. There's another model where the building pays the broker fee too. Now, so you got that whole broker fee, 15%. Was it a whole lot? No, and if I ask you anything that's too personal, financial information, just say
I don't really like to talk numbers, but I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, so clients pay brokers fees, and building managers pay brokers fees. Now, for the most part in Manhattan, because the numbers are so high, you'll get agents doing 1 month's rent.
Okay.
Now, in other markets like Queens or Brooklyn, you'll see people doing 50% because the rent's a little bit lower.
Okay.
So, but there still are agents in Manhattan that charge 50%. Their units tend to move a little bit slower. Okay. And at a disadvantage to a guy like me who's charging 1 month's rent. That's how I got in. It's like, okay, they're charging 50%. I'll work with you for 1 month. I was looking at more so. Yeah, I was looking at volume. I want a lot of clients versus the dollar amount. Because if you have 10 clients in that month, you're charging them 1 month versus one client you're charging 50%.
It's less clients. Yeah,
you're making a lot less money.
Nice.
So that's how I approached that. I was like, all right, I'm not going to beat you in the head with the 50%. I'm going to undercut the big guy, go for 1 month, and let's do it that way.
Smart. So you're saying even at a level where people are paying $10,000 a month rent, that little, like, let's say $1,000 or $2,000 difference matters to them?
Yeah. Everybody wants to save money.
Everybody. Doesn't matter what level.
No matter what level. Even I find at the highest level, they really like to save money.
Yeah. If you can talk impacting the bottom line, cost savings,
100%.
value, and the same service, they'll go with it. Those are like indicators for like retaining a client versus glamour, glitz, and we do this all the time, but we're 15%.
100%. So I learned, like I don't know, let's piggyback a little bit. When I told you I was a B2B sales rep, I learned that from that experience.
Yeah.
There was like the company I was working for was Staples Advantage. It's like the corporate version of your retail Staples store.
Okay.
But we was going business to business, and they had a whole Staples way, meaning like a pitch that they want us to speak, like talk to the clients. Yeah. Just a guideline, a sales guideline, a sales pitch. And I realized that these guys care about that. They all care about the bottom line.
Correct.
So I went into the offices like, what are your 10 items you're buying on a monthly basis? They'll give it to me and I'll price it cheaper than what they're already getting it for, and I'll win their business just like that. So I realized that everybody wants to save money, no matter how much money you get. Right. You want to save, and the more money you get, the smarter you are with it. Like you don't spend it on stupid things. So I realized that, and so when I got into real estate, I just applied the same method.
That's awesome, man. That's smart. And you would think luxury rentals, you think luxury, you think white glove, you think high end, but really at that level it's higher educated, and they're okay with you saying, hey, we're not going to charge you a whole lot, but we'll get you the same units.
So let's talk about the deal at House 39. Like that was one of my first deals I did when I got into real estate. He was a brain surgeon, all right? Nice. And his whole idea was my office is right there, and if I don't spend this money, I'm going to get taxed on it. Yeah. So he got him a nice apartment for him and his wife.
So it really was savings.
Savings.
It was all about like savings. And one thing that I learned in business too is that companies that find a way to make tons of money, and they're able to do it consecutively, now they start talking about how do we get more profit out of that.
100%.
So we're going to do, $92 million. We've done it for the last 3 years, but we've only profited like 32, right? So it's now, how do we get that 32 higher? And it really comes from savings, like trimming fat, meeting with consultants to find out how do they get more profit, because they really cornered like a lion's share of the market, whatever company, whatever business they're in. And it's all about consistency, right? Being consistent, impacting that bottom line, making more, like squeezing more out of the 92 million that they do.
100%.
And then they talk about like a conservative method of making sure it maintains. So a lot of times I've learned they do a lot of preventive work. So they may know an inspection's coming. All right, they may start preparing for the inspection 2 months ahead of time,
100%.
right? And just kind of like forecasting out months ahead, weeks ahead, years ahead to make sure that they could stay where they are because they're profitable and killing it where they are. But now it starts to come from a bottom-up approach.
100%.
Look, let me just take a minute out to highlight our sponsors. Our first sponsor of the Landbank Show is unsoldland.org. Unsold Land is the one-stop shop for everything land. The reason I like Unsold Land is because they really do a lot of the homework for you. They're going to show you Google Maps, Street Maps, Earth, Zillow. You get everything you need at unsoldland.org. Thank you, unsoldland.org, for being our sponsor for the Landbank Show. Our second sponsor, Star Homes, Cullman, Alabama. Star Homes is your one-stop shop for everything tiny home, modular home, or manufactured home. Give Star Homes a call. Tell them Charles from the Landbank Team sent you, and he will take care of you with super Southern hospitality. All right. All right, Eddie, back to you, man. So you sounds like you came out gangbusters, bro. I don't know that many people have that opportunity, right? So we don't grow up in like Midtown Manhattan for the most part, right? Queens, Bronx, Harlem, whatever, right? Wherever, but it ain't a whole lot of us Midtown, right? Yeah. So you got started in that neighborhood, in that area. And what do you say is non-traditional about your start, aside of it was luxury?
I would say non-traditional about my start is that I got right into rentals. A lot of people, when they start, they get right into sales,
right?
And it was also I didn't go into like the big Remax, Keller Williams, or EXP, Douglas Elliman. I went to small boutique firms by design. I feel like you learn a lot from small boutique firms. I mean, the broker's a lot more hands-on,
accessible.
He's accessible, and you guys develop a relationship. And that's what helped me for the most part.
All right.
Yeah.
What made you open up your own brokerage to having like 12 people working for you?
So what got me into that was during the pandemic.
Okay.
I was doing well at the brokerage I was at, but every time when I was there, I was just always thinking about what's next. I know I'm not going to do this for the rest of my life. I had a good relationship with the brokers, my coworkers, everybody was great. But during the pandemic, it was a unique opportunity in the commercial sector. A lot of the rents was dirt cheap for the most part. Not dirt cheap, but cheaper than what it is originally,
Yeah.
And me being in the real estate business, I was a good negotiator, so I was able to negotiate a good rate. And
I noticed during the pandemic, did the rents go down because a lot of people were leaving the city?
Yeah, so the rents in the commercial sector went down 100%. Now it's rising up now,
Yeah.
But at that point, it was down. I had some reserves.
Okay.
I also had the credits that was needed to open up your own brokerage.
Yeah.
So I did enough sales and rentals to the point where I was able to get my brokers to sign off on.
Let me ask you something though. When we say rents being up or down, we're talking like Is it a region or an area in Manhattan that you were focused on?
It was pretty much the whole Manhattan. Whole Manhattan. Yeah, everybody was just leaving because Manhattan was very dense, and during COVID, everybody wanted to be in open land, because that's what the media was telling us to do.
Yeah. So here's my question, because our audience on the Landbank Show, it's a national audience, right? A little bit global too. We're starting to get into a lot of the islands. We're starting to get viewership and some feedback.
That's dope.
Give an idea or an understanding today, a 1-bedroom, a 2, a 3, and a penthouse, what those will cost?
So it depends. So now Manhattan, you have dormant building, non-dormant building. So I'm just going to speak on dormant solely. Dormant right now, let's say if you was getting a 1-bedroom, you're looking anywhere from like 4,000 to 5,000.
Okay. For a 1-bedroom?
For a 1-bedroom, correct.
Crazy.
It's madness.
Yeah.
2-bedroom right now, you're looking anywhere. You can get anywhere from 5,000 to the 7,000 range.
Okay.
Studios, you're looking anywhere from 22 to around 35. 36.
How many square feet? Because people don't know. People know it's small in New York.
I'll tell you,
but they don't know how small. How many square feet on the studio side?
So a studio looking anywhere from, you could say anywhere from like 350 to about 550.
350 feet?
350 to about, I'll say 550. The ones with 350, those are dirt cheap.
Yeah.
550, those are going for a little bit more money.
Okay. Now we got your 2s, 3s, and penthouses.
So now the 1-bedrooms, I'll say the square footage will range anywhere from around, you could say 580 to 725, 750.
Still small. Give me prices though. 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and penthouses.
So 2-bedroom, you can get a 2-bedroom anywhere from around, I'd say 55 to, if you get something super luxury, a 2-bedroom could range like 9,000.
Right.
It all depends on your buildings and what you want to spend.
Yeah.
There's 2-bedrooms that go for 15,000, 20,000 in certain neighborhoods. You have townhouses, So, but I'm just speaking on, the average New York City rental.
Yeah, I want people to know that New York City rentals, when we say low, we're still talking about $4,000 or $5,000 1-bedrooms, $5,000 to $9,000, $10,000 2s. Give me the 3s.
The 3s. So the Manhattan market, there's not a lot of buildings that have 3s, but when you do find them, you're looking at 70, anywhere from like 72 to 10, 11,000, even goes higher.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a super luxury building that has all the amenities and stuff, you can find a 3-bedroom for like 15,000.
Yeah.
But that's not the average New York. It is the average.
When you factor everything in, right?
It is. The average Manhattan renter, it is. New York City is very big. We have Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Bronx, and Staten Island. But Manhattan is, king for the most part. And I'm referencing those numbers.
Yeah, and give me penthouse numbers.
Penthouse, you're looking anywhere north of 20,000, 25,000.
Okay.
It depends on your neighborhood. If you're in Tribeca, you're looking at, Upper East Side. It all depends on location and geography for the most part.
I used to live in a 3-bedroom in a building called the Monterey on the Upper East Side.
Yeah, 96. Yeah.
175, 96.
I know that building very well. I've done business with them.
Yeah, I had a 3-bedroom there for like 4 or 5 years before. So I was in corporate America for a while.
Got it.
And like had some home run years.
What sector in corporate America?
I worked at American Express. I was a
credit card
manager and director of business development at American Express.
Got it. Did that lead you into your Landbank team or?
Not yet.
Got it.
No, I was just a bulldog in corporate America. But it's so easy for athletes. It's like, all right, what do we got to do? This is it.
All right, let's do it and get it over with.
Right? This is what it feels like, right? And God, tell me, if you're an athlete, tell me if you agree or disagree. When you go into corporate America as an athlete, it's almost like you're building a relationship with fans, right? Would you agree?
Yes.
100%?
100%.
So they want to talk to you anyway.
Yes.
That's how I felt. So when I went into corporate America, and you see the people that like the CFOs, the CEOs, I work with the C-level individuals. Mm-hmm. It was so easy for me. Mm-hmm. It was like they want to talk to you anyway as a tall African-American athlete.
A lot of them are fans. A lot of them watch college basketball.
They love college basketball. Like, they die hard. They're alumni. They're part of their group. Alumni, and they're looking at you like, oh, where'd you, like the conversation is, where'd you play? How was it? Where'd y'all travel? Then you tell them you won a championship, right?
Over,
It's over. It's over. It's like just based on your history. So when I come back and I'm handing in numbers, they're like, the hell is going on? What are you doing? Walk me through. Take me on your calls, on your meetings with you. And I'm like, yeah, he's like, he's really cool. We just talk basketball. And then at American Express, you had the suites, the key to the city, basically. You got the suites at the Garden. You got the suites at the Barclays Center. So now you're actually entertaining and taking them to games and stuff like that with you.
It helps them with their business.
It's everything.
Else.
And here's a key. When I entertained and when I used to train people, I would tell people, don't talk business when you're entertaining. Just talk basketball, talk games, talk life like you just said, right? We're talking about family, kids, fun stuff, hobbies. So now when Charles Noonan calls your office, you're picking up the phone oh, that's my guy, that's Charles, right? You had fun last night at the game. You have a card, right? It's so sweet. They're getting drunk, they're having a great time, entertained, they go home. It's like you almost become a friend. Exactly. You build that relationship. Mm-hmm. So that's a little key. Guys, if you want to make a lot of money in corporate America, go be an athlete. Mm-hmm. It helps if you're tall. It helps if you do well. It helps if you win some games. That stuff is not the controllables, but being likable and relatable just helps in corporate America.
100%. It does.
Yeah. So
you've seen that in your field, and I've seen that in my field.
Of course.
I don't think I would be here if I didn't play basketball or go through the things I went through when I played basketball. It just actually shaped me for the business world.
Yeah, it does. So, all right, we are where we are now, right? Sir. I run the Landbank Team, impact people, change lives all over the country. You run your brokerage, and you're changing lives too and impacting lives too, because there's scenarios where people have to move and don't know where to go. Right? The city is so big. If you're coming into the city, you don't know what's safe and what's not safe, what neighborhoods, what buildings specifically.
Correct.
Because there's building. And here's the unique thing about New York. All the buildings are mixed in together.
Correct.
Right? You got you got like the people that do really well right next door to something that where they don't do really well. Right. So you don't know. So consulting with you, hiring you, you really are making a difference. Saying, you meet them, I got the perfect place for
100%.
Right?
Make the process easier for them for the most part. It's like a lot of people come. I'm like this. Manhattan, for the most part, they don't. Like, a lot of people that live in Manhattan aren't from New York City. So like 90% of Manhattan is foreigners, people from foreign countries
that always wanted to live here,
or foreign countries, or just not different states, Alabama, California. You know. That's what I really got a client from New York, and if they were from New York, it was mostly Long Island. They didn't want to move to the city.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, it's just like when you have that expertise, it just makes the process a lot easier. And they always refer me clients and stuff like that. So that makes me feel good that I made their life easier. That they want me to make someone else's life easier. So
that's what
I appreciate that.
That's what it's all about, man. But tell me about a time, Eddie, where life wasn't like it is today, right? Where you don't have your own brokerage, you make your own schedule, you wearing the finest designer stuff, man. I know that helps too, man. I know that has to help.
You got to look the part, man.
It has to help. Yeah. Tell me about a time where it wasn't like that for you, where you had to you had the vision in your head of where you wanted to be or go, but you wasn't there yet.
Yeah, so I grew up in Rosedale, Queens. It's in the Jamaica, Queens neighborhood, South Jamaica, Queens neighborhood. Went to public school. Went to in Rosedale. Then, my father seen, how I was headed, where I was headed. So he put me in a private school for about 2-3 years. Then I went back to public school after that. Yeah. Now, I want to talk about the private school setting because that's what really kind of changed when I started playing basketball for real.
Okay.
I just started, once I started playing basketball, then I stopped getting into trouble, because like all the teachers used to tell my parents, like, oh, this kid is smart, but he just has too much time on his hands. So when you have too much time in your hand as a youth, what do? You hang outside with your friends, you get into trouble, et cetera, et cetera.
Was it the wrong crowd, wrong environment?
I would say a mixture of both. You are a product of your environment. When you're young, you don't choose your friends. Your neighborhood chooses your friends.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have friends. We're still cool. Some of my friends are still cool to this day. But yeah, so I started playing basketball, and that kind of like kept me in a straight path.
Yeah.
After that, and then when I got into college, it was that's where I feel like I faced my most adversity. High school was a little adversity in high school. Like I said, like basketball kind of like kept me away from a lot of.
It passes you through a lot.
Yeah, it's just like, cause like, all right, now let's just talk about it, like the average day, right? So I'm going to school, Thomas Edison in Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah.
And after school you have practice.
Yeah.
So when everybody was going down the hill or they was going to
doing whatever,
I'm in practice, I'll hear about the stories after, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy, So I have a big, that's why I have a big love for the game, just because of like how it steered me to this path that
absolutely
was great. And I'm like, if you talk to my parents, They probably would say I would be their problem child or knucklehead, you know.
Okay.
But it was just because I just had my own vision, you know. That's what I
Right.
had, my own vision and kind of what I want to do. And they steered me, you know. They gave me advice, even though they thought I wasn't listening at that time. But I mean, I'm pretty sure they see now that, you know, their word got through to me. So after, let's just talk about the high school days. I was playing in all kinds of tournaments, Almighty Fours.
Yeah. What's the famous one y'all got in Queens?
IS8.
IS8. Roy Wilkins Park.
Roy Wilkins Park. Yeah. So that's where you also have Roy Wilkins Park is probably one. Then you have all these other not small gyms, just gyms that they'll use like if something was going wrong. So I played Almighty Fours, all the local ISC. It was great. You don't get me wrong. It was great. I met like all my friends, all my guys. Those
people in other states don't realize how big basketball is in New York City to a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you're a basketball player in New York City, it's all you do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You might play a game at 11, then you got something else at 1. Then you got another one somewhere else.
So it keeps you
busy. It keeps you busy, keeps you out of trouble. It builds you for, like, you're still going through that adversity. Yeah. Right? You're learning how to lose, right? Because you're going to get your butt kicked sometime in some tournaments. You're learning how to win, and it's forming you.
Yeah.
But it's so much of it available to us that it becomes a world for kids.
Correct.
Right? It's just what you do, your friends, everywhere you go. We see this. We recognize the basketball players that we played against, whether you scored a lot against them or whether they killed you. There's still a level of respect, and it becomes who you are as much as you play in New York City.
It's like a small fraternity. That's how I say it. It's like everybody's connected, even if you don't know him personally. You know, you played with him on this team, et cetera, et cetera.
You know where they're from and what their home tournament is, right? Their hood tournament.
All that kind of stuff. So I played in all of those. We won. I have my house. You go to my basement.
Yeah, everybody has tons of trophies.
Tons of trophies and stuff like that. But I'm grateful for that, for the game for the most part, for steering me on that right path.
Right.
I think that's important for any young male, in the urban communities. It's that
sports,
like sports and just some type of extracurricular activities that can keep your mind looking forward, because it's just not all about physical attributes.
Yeah.
A lot of people in those urban communities have minds. Even me, I look back on myself when I was young. I was a pretty smart kid, but growing up, your environment is telling you it's not cool to be smart. Yeah. So you kind of like you downplayed a little bit,
It's a fine line.
It's a fine line. It's a fine line.
Being cool, being good in basketball, and being good in school. Yeah. It's like, it's not easy. It's not easy to be like, oh yeah, I got to go home and study. Yeah. And everybody else after the game is trying to go to a party or going to something else. And it's like, hey, I got to go lock in.
Nah, I know. So, all right, high school, I didn't really study because
no,
I didn't really study in high school because the work wasn't as challenging.
Nah.
At college, I studied a little bit, but in high school, I didn't really study. So I'll go play basketball and I have fun with my friends too. I was living that life, I was having fun.
Yeah.
None of my friends knew, like how, like what I like my mental capabilities. I never spoke about it.
Yeah.
But
you always did well.
I always did well in school.
Nice.
I was actually even asked in my Thomas Edison's vocational technical high school.
Mm-hmm.
They have a Geek Squad. What Geek Squad does is they go and fix the computers around the school.
Yeah.
After school, I was in the computer repair program. I turned it down. The reason why I turned it down, he asked me to do it, is because I had basketball practice at that time.
Right.
And he said he was the first kid to ever turn down an opportunity for Geek Squad. But at that time in my life, basketball was much more important. That's what I was excelling at. So I always had that, but nobody knew just because I looked.
And now in your business, you can apply as much intelligence as you want. It's all about like being better,
100%.
Being faster,
100%.
Making more money,
100%.
And growing the brokerage.
Yeah. So in the business world, it's all about your mind.
Yeah.
And
your vision
and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna say it's easy. It's very hard. Anything worth having doesn't come easy. So, but it keeps me going. It's a challenge. So I know.
So let's talk about some of the challenges that you may have had along your journey. Like, what was the hardest part of your journey so far?
People.
People?
I wouldn't say people. I would just say managing different personalities.
Okay. Being the head of it, and trying to build a team. People that see your vision
the same way. I mean, honestly, no one's ever gonna see your vision. The vision you have for yourself and the goals you have, no one's ever gonna see your vision. Until you start putting the action in and start seeing the results. I'm pretty sure you went that in your life. You had a vision and people was like, oh no, until you started putting in the actual work, and then people start to follow suit.
So here's the thing, right? We both have a sales background. Mm-hmm. Here's what I'm learning. You have to sell your team 100%. As well. It's the same sale. Mm-hmm. So the way you add KPIs, psychology, the science behind selling a product or a service, mm-hmm. you have to do the same thing to your team. You have to, if you take it with the same approach, you'll find like your team, you'll get that buy-in. Mm-hmm. And then they start to align with the vision a little bit. Got it. I'll give you an example, right? And I hate to use this right now live because the person is in the room, right? But we have a vision for the podcast and what we want it to look like. Got it. And what we want it to sound like. Got it. So when I came in this morning, I heard hammering on the wall, and it was Sydney who was hammering like the 3D wall on her own in here without me coming in. Got it. It was a huge shock, right? Yeah. But that's when you were having a conversation with her, right? You're like, all right, look, I got to learn more about this land bank thing. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, it's phenomenal. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. It's really interesting. The more you learn, the more you're going to love it because of the opportunities and changing lives. So I hate to say this in front of Sydney, but Sydney is sold through proof of concept, through just since she's been working with me, hearing how many people's lives have been changed. No. She's watching people buy properties for $1,000. She's watching people buy land live on a call that we had where someone who had no clue where to buy land, they bought land yesterday, right? So she's hearing that. So, and she doesn't have to sit on those calls when I teach her do stuff like that, right? But I invite her in so she can buy more into the vision, right? She's a success coach. So now she feels like she's winning as well. Yes. A part of her probably feels like, man, I helped somebody buy a half an acre yesterday. I helped somebody who came from nothing buy their first house. Yes. Right. And she's guiding people on best practices on how to do it. Yeah. So yes, Sydney, I sold you. I sold you on the vision, and she bought it. Yeah. But if you just think about this, right? Yeah. We as business people, we're starting to learn how smart we are, how intelligent we are, and we're starting to learn best practices of major corporations. Yes. Think about how often you hear this, drink the Kool-Aid. Drinking the Kool-Aid, right, from an organizational standpoint, is all about the company selling you on believing more of their vision. 100%. Right? Yes. And when you think about your experience in corporate, they're like, man, you go into that meeting, they're going to be having you drinking the Kool-Aid. But that's what it is. They're selling you on the vision, the company's mission, the company's vision. And now you're going to go out and you're going to get those 8. You might even get 10 or 12, right?
You're 100% right. So what I meant when I meant people was more so on the fix and flip investing side. Yeah. On the brokerage side, 100% was what you're right. It's like you just, when you show people the vision. Yeah. All my agents, none of them really had prior real estate experience. Okay. And then they came to the company and they was making a lot of money, Nice. So kudos to them.
Yeah, of course.
Kudos to them. So when I said people, I meant more on the investment fix and flip side because you're juggling with a lot of contractors.
I didn't want to go down that ugly road, man. But I did not want to go down that road.
In New York City, a lot of contractors, they just have egos because they've been in it for a while. And I'm a young guy, Yeah. And they're older. So taking, sometimes direction from someone younger could be a little bit, I would say, intimidating. I don't know.
It is.
A little intimidating. It is. So that's what I meant when I said people just navigating that, meaning like, hey, listen, I know I'm young, but hey, I've done this, I've done that, I have the knowledge, so this is what I want.
It's the same thing, man. No. And I'm going to tell you, push those guys as hard as you will push anybody. No. And when you came in, I was on the phone with my project manager, and I'm pushing him the same way. 100%. Right? You told me last week, 7-day turnaround. it's 8 days. Where's my stuff?
Exactly.
Right? He's like, no, we said 10. I'm like, no, you said 8. You said 7. He's telling me like, it's just contractors and people in general.
And that's what I meant. And for the most part, it's like, that's the hardest part of the business, you know, just dealing with the personalities of the contractors and the subcontractors in terms of the fix and flip investment side of real estate. Now, the brokerage, you know, training is something I love to do, and getting people to, you know, buy into the vision of where we're trying to go.
It's still people though, because a lot of times people may be realtors, right? And don't go to work. Yes. Things don't look good. They don't get deals. They start looking at part-time jobs. They start looking at, I got to make money. And it's like, if you would just do the work I've told you, you would be killing it.
Now, a lot of people don't understand the level of work that comes with being a real estate agent, because during the pandemic, there was a lot of, I don't like to blame social media, but there was a lot of saturation on real estate and what you can do. And people's not telling you the real. You know, they're going to tell you, hey, you can come into real estate and make all this money. It takes a while. It's turnover. Right. You know, you got to really build a book of business. You have to have the right clientele. You got to know the market. Market knowledge is very key. So sometimes you're battling like the clickbait. You know, you have to get people to realize that. Listen, it takes time. Like for me, it didn't happen right away. Like
the reality is,
like I told you about a deal that I got, right? But I didn't tell you the stuff before.
It took a whole
lot of prospecting and going to the office, long nights. You know, going. I'm sorry, I had a full-time job and going to that and meeting a client here, et cetera, you know? So it took time for me to get to a point where it's like, all right, cool, I don't need that job and I'm just going to do this. So I would say that it's just more so just having a realistic approach. Yeah. So what the job description is going to require, and just being in for the long haul.
I think a lot of people show, and this is just my vision, right? So I'm not on the sales side, I'm more on the development side, right? I think a lot of people show, and this is just what I see on social media, they'll show walking into a luxury apartment, right? All the luxury accessories, the pool, the rooftop, and the agent is showing all of this to everybody that follows them, friends, family, industry people, not industry. Yes. So what it looks like to us is y'all walking in the best buildings in New York City. You're showing them off, and I'm like, damn, man. No. That job, they get to just go to these dope places and rent them out. Like, that's your job. Like, that's how you make your money. Yeah. Doorman, white glove, valet parking.
Nice views.
Views of the city are like unlike anything I've ever seen. Park. Right? Central Park, overlooking it, whether you north, overlooking it, south, east, you get the bridges. Yep. Right? So I had like almost 360 views of the city and the Monterey. Okay. So I was able to see east, west, south, and the George Washington Bridge. It has
that curve.
Yeah, so my apartment was the top floor on the curve. I was able to see everything. Okay. So we think that you guys just go look, because this is what they show. They just look, showing the apartment in and out, and then they turn it off.
Yeah, it's not like that.
It's not like that at all. You're connecting so many dots behind the scenes.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are those properties that are in New York City. But I'll say even a luxury agent who's handling luxury, they're also doing smaller deals too. Okay, you know, of course, you're going to promote the luxury deals because that's what gets you the clickbait. That's what gets people to follow.
So you're telling me the person on Instagram, and I follow a lot of realtors in New York, right? A couple of the events we went to, right? I follow all of them. Yeah. They're friends of mine, right? Yeah. So they're showing the Monterey, the rooftop, and everything. Monterey is known for its rooftop.
I'm guilty also.
You know what I'm about to say?
Yeah. Well, no, go ahead.
They're showing that, but are they renting the 6-story walk-up?
No, no.
Like,
well,
one bedroom for
they're probably all renting and selling those buildings also, but they're also renting and selling walk-ups also. So what I mean is that it's a balance. You gotta understand, all your clients aren't going to be high net worth individuals. Now you have some, okay, you get what I'm saying? But what happens when they're already situated? You're just going to leave everybody else and not service them.
They're doing the walk-ups to the whatever floor, 4-story walk-up.
Yeah,
and they renting out
They're doing everything. Okay. So from people I know that's in luxury, they're doing that. They're renting, selling high-end buildings, but they're also renting and selling low-end buildings too. And I don't shun at it because it's $1.
But so here's the thing. They don't show that part.
No, because it's not gonna get you clickbait. You're not gonna get.
I think what I would. Well, I'm sorry, I'm laughing because like you're unveiling the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Look, if you in the luxury real estate market and you renting some penthouse apartments like that got the rooftop over views of the whole city, overlooking East Side, West Side, Central Park, East River, Harlem, everything, right? And you also rented that 5-story walk up. I need y'all to show that too, because I could connect. I could relate more to that, right? That's so funny, man. That is so funny.
I've rented high and I've rented low and I've sold high and I've sold low, and it's just like, yeah. But usually on a low end, if I get a deal, I'll probably just buy that for myself and try to renovate it and put it back on the market, et cetera, et cetera.
I'll be looking and I'll be like, damn, my realtors is killing it out there. Yo, I'll be like, I want to move back to the Upper East Side so bad.
Upper East Side that's actually what I stay now. Upper East Side is definitely
nice.
It's definitely.
Cause I know you do, because you know the building. You know exactly what building it is and everything.
Yeah, it's quiet up there. Stay focused, but
it's a neighborhood.
Yeah, neighborhood. Just to piggyback on what you were saying about the whole luxury versus not luxury. Yes, I know luxury agents that do high end, but they're also doing smaller deals. You gotta. It's all about volume in this game.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, bro.
That's just the ugly truth about the business.
It's work though. It's okay. Yeah. I show the abandoned properties a lot. Mm-hmm. I show me in the abandoned properties a lot. I don't show, and I really show a lot of the success in like on social media. I really show the success of my team members more so than anything. I don't necessarily go fix anything at this level that I'm at.
Got it.
I do tell team members though about fights I have with contractors. Like at every level in real estate, everybody fights with contractors.
100%. People.
And I posted yesterday, I said, do all contractors lie?
No.
Everybody told me yes. Like I did a poll. Okay. No one told me no.
I have one good solid contractor that's.
You got a good one?
Yeah.
He's never told you like he'll be done by Friday.
Yeah, all right, so
see?
So that's a lie. So timeline is always subject to change, man.
Yeah, but that's a lie that we can accept.
Yeah.
They be telling me like they play games sometimes with pricing. Mm-hmm. They'll get you in on a price to start a job. Once they do the job, the price, or once they start it, it's like a thing with contractors. They know they got you halfway in. You paid already. You can't stop paying them, fire them, and hire somebody else. It'll be a loss regardless, because that new person's going to come in and say, what?
I do this, I do that.
I got to take this whole thing apart again, right? And start all over. So they know they got you, and then they hit you with the, I didn't see this, or I didn't know this was here, and now you got you paying like an extra 30% on your job. I see that coming all the time.
Yeah. So that happened, all right, so that's why when I originally started, I partnered. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to have that problem with contractors. But when I started doing things by myself, originally contractors, they're just gonna test you because you're gonna, especially in New York, it's a dog eat dog market. Contractors want to maximize on their profits just the same way you try to maximize on your profits. So if they can get you for an extra $5-10 grand, they will. But if you show them that you know how much things cost,
right,
the breakdown, all that goes out the window. So it's really like they'll play on your ignorance for a little bit.
Over time, you get the relationship.
Exactly.
They know you're not playing around. They know they know cost of stuff.
Yes. And you're giving them a lot of business too. So at that point, it's like, all right, cool, this guy giving me a lot of business. I don't want to end this relationship because then I might not make money this month or that month or this month, et cetera, et cetera.
That's tricky too. Right? The way you dress, right? Going into meet with a contractor at the beginning, it's cool. Hey, I know this. I know how much this costs. Knock this out for me. Mm-hmm. The first time.
Yes.
When it comes to your fifth or your sixth flip or your fifth or sixth time, do you find they start to charge you more because they know you have money, they know you making money on flipping, or are they starting to keep it the same? Because I feel the opposite. But go ahead. Let me let you answer.
From what I see, it's the same or even less because now you have even more knowledge. So you know that if you can get this for this price, all right, I'm not going to do the job. I'll give it to somebody else. So now they know that you have more market knowledge.
Yeah.
It's no more playing games, you know? Yeah, but it takes a while to get to that point with contractors. Like your first couple of flips, even me, I'm what, 6 or 7 in.
Yeah.
That's not I started like 3 years ago in New York City. In New York City, you know, so it's a little bit tougher in New York City. But there's people that's like 30, and they've been doing this for like 10, 15 years. 30, 40, 50 properties in. So their knowledge on what to look for is, it's at a higher.
I'm 20 years in.
20, got it.
I have to change contractors every once in a while, every couple of years. And this is why. True story. I own a block of properties on the east side of Michigan, of Detroit.
That's not bad.
The guy knows I own 4 more on the west side, 4 more duplexes. The first roof he did for me, like $4,000. See me, he's watching me. We're new. The second roof, $4,000. He drives by, he's asking me about the 4 duplexes that I have on Elmhurst on the west side.
Got it.
Right? He sees I got people working on those too. He's looking, he's watching me make money. He's watching me turn this block around, and he's watching the growth. The third roof, the guy's like, oh, this one's going to be 7.
Was it more damage, or he just doing that off?
Same roof. I'm just doing new roofs on all of them because the roofs were like a problem. I'm thinking long term. These properties are for my sons. I'm trying to get rid of all capital expenditures for a while so that they don't have to go through that.
Okay.
By the time we get to the 4th property, the roof he's trying to charge me like $8-9 grand for. The plumbing is going up. The electrical is going up. They are the same exact identical houses. They're all like 900 to 1,000 foot bungalow properties. And I find that even in New York, contractors start to count your pockets.
Yes, 100%.
They counting your pockets. They're looking at the properties you have. I swear to you, I used to park my cars 2 blocks away and walk to the properties because if they see what you're driving,
that's a good trick.
If they see what you're driving, they're taxing you on it.
Yes.
They're taxing you. And I've always struggled with that. It's like, all right, I can't show them what I drive. In Michigan, I never could show my social media. I don't say my whole name. Like, they never will know my actual information.
No.
Some of them might watch this, but they don't. I hope they don't. And I tell team members, like, just say Landbank Team. Don't be mentioning my entire full name. I mask a lot behind a management company as well.
Okay.
Then I have some strong relationships with people at this point, but I try to make them so much money that they don't look at the money, that they don't count the money that I make.
100%, yes. Now, what you're saying is 100% true. So
you lucky.
Yeah. No. Well,
but you said you only on your 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
Keep going, and I guarantee you.
Did you replace that contractor? That one that
I have to.
Yeah, you have to.
I have to. So here's the thing. When I replace them, I'm replacing them with the guy who's saying I'm gonna get this done for $3,000.
Yeah.
It's this. It just goes right back. It's the same work. The electrical. We know how much it costs. We know what the yellow wire, the white wire is gonna cost. We know what it is. And it's just they're watching, and I think I don't know what it is. I'm super nice. I overpay. I tip. I'm buying lunches, whatever. When I'm around, they already know the level of treatment they get, right?
Loyalty.
But they still tax like crazy.
So, yeah, I understand that. So, I guess I just got lucky.
Tenants too.
Tenants too, yeah.
You got to move. You can't. You got to move in a certain way, bro. You can't come with the Ferragamos, the belts, and all that. It's so hard.
Like, it depends on where I'm at, you know. So, like, if I'm going in the Queens area and I'm prospecting properties, I'm not with the Fair. I'm simple guy.
Basic Bob.
You know, basic Bob. You know, I park around the corner, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
You know, just because I understand. You know, I understand people. I understand how they think and operate for the most part. So if I'm telling you I'm coming to your property and I'm pulling up in my car, I'm dressed up fancily, and I'm like, hey, I want your property for this amount, and you see what I have on, you're gonna tax me.
Of course.
Because you think I have it, you know? Versus if you think I'm a regular Joe Schmo, you might be more in agreement to give me a property for the price I'm offering.
Yeah.
So
you got to always be selling people, bro.
Exactly. So now on the contractor side, I just really feel like I always get different quotes from different contractors. So I have a couple of friends who are like electricians and
that helps.
Plumbers and stuff like that. So that kind of like helps me with those kind of jobs.
Friends that you knew before real estate?
No, after.
Because my friends taxed the hell out of me.
So what I mean is these are like friends that I met post. These are not friends that I grew up with. It's people like
Just fix your mic because this is important. This is a topic we got to talk about.
Yeah. So I feel like there's day ones and you also have day twos.
Yes.
So your day ones are the people you grew up with in your neighborhood, your sandbox. You guys fought together. You guys went through a lot of things together. And then you become a man and you leave the neighborhood. You go to school. You figure out yourself, and then you develop day twos.
Okay.
People that you've met on your second journey in life.
Right.
So when I'm speaking to friends, I'm speaking about the day twos, people I've met that's in certain sectors that help my business.
Who charges you more? Day ones or day twos?
Day ones, of course.
Day one. Of course. Why? If that's like your guy, man.
But it's because they feel like a sense of I knew you since you was 5, bro. It's a sense of entitlement a little bit. But I mean,
so I have it. That doesn't mean I'm still, like you said, we started off with talking about like the made it mindset is to not spend it all.
No, you're not.
I didn't get it to where I am because I just be throwing it out there like that.
You want to be frugal for frugal a little bit, and I've learned that from other businessmen that when I was in, I told you when I was
cost conscious.
Cost conscious. I'm like, this guy has this, and he's not spending like that person who has only this.
Yeah, it's a level.
It's like when you have a certain amount, you don't want anybody to know. It's just like you kind of want to just keep plugging and keep doing the things that you're doing to get to where you want to be.
Day ones are hard.
Yeah, day ones are hard, but you got to love them though.
They come. So here's the thing where I struggle with day ones. Mm. They know me personally, right? They know I drive a Maybach. Mm-hmm. They know I have a Rolls Royce. Mm. They're in my house as friends and family, so they see how we actually live.
Yes.
When I had a furnace at my first property, right? My man, my bro, taxed the hell out of me on that.
I mean, that's how it's going.
But here's the thing. So I'm cool with it.
How was the quality of the work? Was it?
The work was good.
It was good. Okay.
Plumber. I hate to give my band up like this, right? But something most gonna know in my circle who this is. Plumber does his thing. Tax me crazy on a furnace.
Understandable.
And I'm like, you serious? He's like, yeah, man, you got it. Whatever. Just this is what it is. Just you can pay cash or just send it to my office or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm scratching my head like I wouldn't have charged you that much if it was me.
Oh. Sometimes you do things for free
So now I'm buying more properties, right? I got properties in the Bronx. I'm going crazy. This is my initial real estate journey before I got into Landbank properties. Mm-hmm. I didn't use them.
Got it.
I'm using my day twos. Yeah. I'm using the Hispanics I met, right? I'm using everybody else except for him. But at the same time, he's in my circle. He's day one. He's seeing it. Yeah. And he's starting to get like pissed off.
Yeah. I understand.
It's a fine line. I'm telling you.
It's really a fine line, but like as you get older, you kind of learn how to juggle it. I think like my dad told me something else I feel like was very important. He said, I'm gonna say it in like what we're talking about, day ones. They're not gonna really help you get to where you want to be. It's gonna be complete strangers.
Yeah.
That's 100% true. And for the most part in our community, But and I've helped, and it's kind of true. Things that I've seen in my life, et cetera, et cetera. So, I love my day ones,
Yeah, they say there's stuff that goes around the internet that says a stranger will become a client faster than a friend, or something to that effect. Yeah, but I get it. It's like they know us so closely, so well, and to contribute to more of your success for some wild reason seems hard for them. Yeah. But then you'll meet somebody that will overpay you and be gracious and thankful for the work or the service that you're doing for them and give you more and then champion you more than the people that know you. Yeah. So a long time ago, man, I learned, right, because I went back and forth, entrepreneurship, corporate America, entrepreneurship. I worked like Amex for a long time, but that was it. I came out of college into real estate.
Got it. Okay.
So I learned in every business that I start, I never tell friends and family for 2 reasons. One, it's like a sales job. You don't want your sales for your first month to be friends and family because it's not real.
It's not real. 100%.
They're buying because they like you.
They're
supporting you. Hey, let me just
business.
sign me up. Give me 5, give me 2, whatever it is. So it's not real. And then second, you can't sustain a business on friends and family.
No.
And I would say our community. You have to have the right business model is you have to provide so much value that you can sustain and scale off of other people, like total strangers.
100%. And I feel like what you're saying is 100% true. So the notion of keeping the money within our community, I get that 100%.
Yeah.
But you can still do business with other communities.
Of course.
You get what I'm saying? Because everybody does that. Every community does business with other communities.
It's a business model.
Depends on where you spend that dollar after you make it.
That's true.
That's what's very important.
Yeah.
So
New York is just tough. I think where it's starting to turn to where I see it's a lot more common to support each other, to champion each other. Your friend is doing something, to just go spend. We're not asking for discounts. We're not asking for a whole bunch. We're just supporting each other.
Yes. But with that, it also has to be some type of customer service and level of expertise.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, because we just don't want to because that's I feel like that's another issue that we face as a community. Is okay, Joe Schmo just opened up a barbershop. He doesn't know how to cut hair, so why
support me.
You open up a shop. Now you have to be good at what you do to gain some type of support. So I feel like if everybody just raises their level to that high level, we'll be all right.
If you just bring it and you kicking ass in your business,
you'll be all right.
It's easy to support.
But
if you just shouting out, support me,
then it's tough.
It's hard to get support when you just screaming out, support me. But if you got a kick-ass product or kick-ass service, it's so much easier for us to support you.
100%. So,
that's a good takeaway because it's a fine line.
It's a fine line,
right? Everybody has a tracksuit, a clothing line, or whatever. And then when you wash it, it's 3 sizes small.
What is this?
You what is this?
But I supported you because
the letters fell off.
Yeah, but I supported you because you're the day one.
Right. Because I just rock with you.
And I want you to also grow also.
So how does that happen in your business? You're a broker now. Now that you're in position to hire people, you're in position to get people 6-figure salaries, 6-figure incomes, right? How does that work? Do you go back to everybody you know and hey, I found a lane. I got 18 buildings in Midtown, 10 on the Upper East Side, 4 in Chelsea.
So
let's go.
In the beginning, yes. When I first started, yes. It's your sphere of influence. You was people that you felt that was in the real estate business or who can do well. You reached out to them, see, if they can be productive. Also, as of late, no. I'm more so
that changed.
Yeah, that changed. I'm also just interested in the best candidate for the job.
Okay.
No matter how you look, where you come from. I just feel like that's the route to take.
If you can perform the work,
if you could do the job,
you got the ethic.
Let's work.
I'm working with you.
Let's work. Yeah. So in the beginning, it was more so I was trying to bring people up, and I feel like everybody does that when you first get into business.
Yeah.
You want the people you know to come along and try with you. Yeah. But after a while, you realize at the end of the day, the only color that really matters is green.
That's a good point. I don't hire my friends either or family anymore. But what I will do as a give back, because sometimes you feel guilty.
Of course.
There's a part of that, right? You do a killer month.
Yeah.
And then you go back around your friends and they're getting the same salary, the same paycheck that they've been getting at their job. And you damn. So here's what I do to kind of offset that. I'll teach them everything I know about
100%.
it. And 100%. If you really want it, I tell my friends all right, here's how you open. Here's how you get the broker's license. Here's how I can help you get it. But I'm not going to work with you.
You got to do the work.
You're not going to take a desk on my team and you got poor work ethic.
100%.
So I kind of offset that by saying, bro, I'll show you how to open. Matter of fact, I'll give you a building on the Upper East Side, 175 96th Street, the Monterey. Dope-ass building right next to the Q and the N or whatever train.
The 6th train.
6.
Yeah.
But no, they got the new line.
It's the Q.
The Q.
Yeah.
Q goes right to 96.
96, yeah.
All right.
96 a second. But the entrance, so it's the Q and the 6, yeah. The Q and the 6.
I don't take the train. So the Q is on Lexington. The N is on 2nd or 3rd.
Correct.
And I haven't been on the train forever, but it is what it is. I just teach. And that should be good. And I feel personally, right, me telling you exactly what to do
is more valuable.
I feel like it's more valuable. Of course, they want to do it with me because they know I did all the work. They know I'm gonna show up. They know I'm gonna buy the equipment. They know I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna find everything and do everything. And that's why those are the same reasons why I don't. Yeah. It's like if you really want it, go do it yourself.
Yeah, and this is piggybacking on what you said. I remember when I first met you at the event out in Manhattan on the West Side. I think it was in Hudson Yards. It was the Greater Harlem Real Estate Board that had an event.
Yeah.
And you gave a girl an award.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, based on what you just said right now, you gave her the blueprint, and she went out and did exactly what you said.
Exactly.
Which resulted in her winning.
6 properties in 6 months.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy, right? And she knew she had no real estate experience, right? 6 properties, 6 months. She just ran it. And that's another thing why I'm like, look, I can teach people how to do it, but I don't partner with people either.
No. I think she was in a southern market.
She got Michigan, Ohio, and Alabama.
Got it.
Those are where her properties are.
And so you just coached. She joined your program.
She joined the team, Landbank Team, watched the course, showed up on the calls, but she took action immediately.
That's important, action.
Yeah, some people, I heard this from a speaker the other day. He said, don't make your notebooks smarter than you. Meaning, don't write all these notes and educate that notebook with how to find a property for $2,000, how to find contractors, how to protect your investment, where to find the money, and don't do anything because you just made your notebook smart. Right? This guy, his name's Storm Leroy. That was my takeaway from seeing it.
That's a good quote.
He said, don't make that notebook super intelligent and then you go back to work the next day and you just get back into your routine. It's like take action. And I charge people with the task on my team not to be window shoppers. Yeah. So if you join a Landbank team, we're not window shopping. We're buying properties. I don't want you to sit. I don't want my program to be an insurance policy for if you get fired. It's like, hey, you joined. You paid already. Yeah. I'm going to show up every single Tuesday and teach. I want you to show up, and I'm charging you with the task of buying that first property because you're going to own it debt-free. Stays in your family's name. I don't care how fast you renovate it. I don't really care what you do with it. You could do that stuff at your pace. But while there's still opportunities to grab these properties at these really low denominations, grab them.
Got it. Yep. And she did it and got an award for it.
Yeah, we got so many, man. We're doing something too, October 6th called D-Day.
Got it.
Where everybody it's going to be in Alabama.
Got it. I'm going to
it's going to be
what's going on. I'm going to cut you up. I'm going to Charlotte, so I'm trying to get see what's going on with the southern market. So maybe I'll stop by in Alabama and see what's going on.
No, October 6th, bro. You're welcome to come. And here's the thing. It's a bus full right now, right? We're probably halfway full, 50 passenger bus.
Okay.
We're probably at the 20-person mark.
Got it.
It's probably 80% women that are booked and scheduled to go right now. So you are welcome to come just for the diversity aspect of it, right? I don't want to hear, no offense to women, but I don't want to hear women talk about women's stuff on the whole ride, man. I need some balance on this bus, on this trip. So if you're welcome to come, man, I'll be happy to have 100%. You. And we're just going to go, it's a celebration.
Okay.
We're going to go to everybody's properties that has land. We're actually building. And I was on the phone with the developer, with the project manager. And he's lining up like the septic tank installers, the attorney for quiet title action. Yeah, we're going to do a master class right after.
Got it.
So not only did I teach them how to buy the land, where to buy it, I'm having a master class and we're walking them through the steps of developing these duplexes.
That's smart. That's a good idea.
October 6th, man, you're welcome to come.
100%.
All right, cool. So look, we got to wrap this up, man. Sydney is about to kick us out of here, right? So look, tell people where to find you. And are you hiring? Would you hire right now?
Yeah, of course. I'm definitely looking for dedicated real estate professionals who have a drive for the real estate. Just love real estate, all things real estate, sales, rentals, investment side, fix and flips. things like that, buy and holds, So yeah, my Instagram is at Ede Egharevba. I can spell it for you. It's EDE Egharevba. And if you want to reach me on the email side, it's contact@Ukpasiarealty.com. So contact@UKPASIA realty.com. You can shoot me an email. I'll respond swiftly. And then, we can see if we can work together and stuff like that. Also, I don't really sell courses, real estate investment courses. I actually just kind of like push people to go find deals. And if you find a good deal, I have the infrastructure to help you guys get that deal from start to finish, and you make more money that way as opposed to paying for a course. So yeah, like anybody say, oh, why are you not doing no courses? Hey, I can teach you how to get a deal, and you can get that deal in contract, and then you can partner. You'll make a lot more money that way versus just buying my course, et cetera, et cetera.
Now, what level of work do they have to do? So they find a deal, right? House worth $500,000.
Yeah,
they can get it at $300,000.
$300,000. Yeah. So let's say if you're having trouble negotiating the deal or getting down to the price that works, you can give me a call, and that's why I come in with the expertise to help you get down to that point.
You gonna come in and negotiate, close it up
right.
What about the work?
In terms of what?
Is
the
that
construction or?
Yeah, are you taking the deal? Like find the deal, I'll grab it and buy it from you. Or are you partnering?
It depends on what's for that person. So if the person doesn't have any money to invest in the deal, then they can just sell the deal. But if you have the capital to invest, I'll be a partner, and we split 50-50.
Nice. I love it, man. Yeah. Partnerships, relationships, it just leads to growth.
100%.
I love it. I outwork people, so I don't partner that much.
Yeah.
I need to. Maybe I need to find more people that will work as hard as I will to get deals done.
I'm just like you. I don't partner a lot neither. Like
you just threw it out there though, bro.
I threw it out there because I realized I put like this. I don't really partner either, but the reason why I threw it out there is because expansion.
You have
it's only so much I can do. Like I know my capabilities. I know I can get this certain amount of deals here, but if you want to go to a bigger audience and have you need to partner with people
to scale.
Yeah,
it helps you scale.
It helps you scale because like I can't do everything, bro. I really think that I can. Like I'm a superhuman. I think I can, but when you get to a certain point, you're like, man, I could really scale more if I start teaching individuals. If I start partnering with individuals.
Yeah.
Now, hypothetically speaking, let's say I do 10 deals a year, and I have just me, no partners on that deal.
Right.
And I help other people, 20 or 30 other people do deals. I just scaled my business, and I also impact other people's lives also. So
yeah, I gotta learn from you on that. Man. You gotta talk. We gotta talk more about it. But you said right away, like I don't. Like you. I don't like.
I don't like.
You know why?
Too much heads. Too many people talking.
I wake up and I get right at it.
Yes.
At 6 a.m., I'm messaging contractors. Hey, did you do this? I need you to get to my property first today. Like I want to work. I want to get my projects done. Other people.
I like that.
Oh, I'm gonna call him. I got his voicemail. And if I say, hey, you're gonna get the windows done, right? I got plumbing and electric, and then the windows aren't done, and you giving me excuses, and I gotta break bread 50-50 with you.
So
it makes me sick.
So
my stomach turns. I'm like, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call my window guy. Hey, bro, we got 18 windows. I need you to measure them, frame them out, installation, how much? And I'm like, hey, by the way, you heard from Mike?
No, I ain't heard from him.
Nah, Mike who? He said he called you.
Nah, he called.
The guy who you came in with last time and who you said is going to call. Nah, he ain't called me. So now I'm sitting there like, so now we done and I got to give you half.
So, no, it depends. Every partnership is different.
Right, or whatever. But I did your work for you. I still got to get.
It all depends.
It just, I don't like it.
Yeah.
When I meet a person, group, whatever, that is going to match my work level.
That's when you do 50-50.
I'll take less. Just get it done in this amount. I'll take less because I still got my own. I got so many projects going on right now.
So what you said, you hit the nail on the head. It's like meaning like you can't find like. I remember when I first got into business, like I was like, I don't want nobody else on my team. The guy was like, why? He was like, because we saw nobody could do the work just like you. And I was like, yes, I've dealt with
exactly.
100%. Like I've dealt with people where it's like I'm up and going, they're not up and going. It kind of slows you down.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying with that, but when you meet someone who's on the same level, it's a beautiful experience.
I gotta find better partners.
As you have to, and it's hard. Right now, I have no partners. You know, when I first started, I had partners. You know?
All right, cool.
But it took me a while. It took me a while to find that. You know, to find those partners who was who was on the same level of passion.
Yeah, just on it, like get the job done.
Just like, yo, listen, we're here together. Let's get the job done. Like, that's what it was. So once I found out, it was a beautiful circle. Currently, right now, I don't, and I realized that if you want to scale, it's best to have people who are looking for deals who you can partner with to.
That's smart.
Take your business to another level.
All right, cool. I thought you knew something not different.
No,
it's the same thing.
It's the same. I totally get what you're saying.
All right, cool.
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, bet. So look, we're gonna wrap it up, man. I think we might have to do a part 2.
100%.
You get some partnerships.
Yeah.
Landbank Team. I champion this guy. If you guys want to do any real estate deals, you got deals in New York City. Are they limited to New York?
No, it's
you do out of state too.
Out of state too. So like all my deals up until this point has been in New York City.
Nice.
But now I'm looking to expand into other markets.
It might work.
Yeah.
And here's where it might work, because we have properties in Ohio, Cook County, Michigan, a ton in Detroit. Development deals, right? So maybe it'd be a good idea for you to come to D-Day for real, because they're doing developments. Yeah, they're doing developments, but a lot of them are new. Mm-hmm. So maybe couple that expertise. But we're going to work, man.
Yeah,
Landbank Team, I champion this guy, Eddie. He knows what he's doing. He's made tons of money through non-traditional methods in real estate. And unlike me, he's willing to partner. So, guys, he told you how to reach him. Hey, we're going to close out. Thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course. Another dope episode of the Landbank Show. We'll see you guys. Make sure you subscribe. Follow on Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, Apple Music, everywhere they have podcasts. We are on and growing very quickly. Until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you for listening to The Landbank Show with Charles Noonan. Please leave a review for this podcast and give it 5 stars. Also, follow on Instagram at Charles J. Noonan and share with others, as we want to share these unique strategies with developers across the world.